Hey everyone, Larry Walsh here for Channelnomics in the Margins, and I'm coming to you from JFK Airport here in New York. It's my home base airport. It's where I depart from frequently when I'm traveling for business and on the occasional vacation. It's 0 dark 30 here, as you can see, and the place is packed. The gates are full, the concourse is jammed, the security area is backed up. Suffice to say, people are flying. Now, we're not flying at the pre-pandemic levels yet, and there's a good reason for it, is because the airline industry lacks capacity. There's just simply not enough seats. During the pandemic, airlines curtailed their operations. They retired old aircraft. They had reductions in their staff. And as a result of that, they just don't have the capacity to meet the demand. Now, the result of that, again, thinking about supply side economics, supply and demand dictating prices, if there's more demand and less supply, prices will increase. And that's what we're seeing in the airline industry. The cost of flying is increasing, and airlines are reporting higher revenue and profits than they ever have before. In fact, airline airfares are up about 37%. According to some estimates, and that's probably not going to go back down for a while. In fact, the airline industry won't be back to normal or nominal capacity for about another 2 years. Now, why am I thinking about this morning at the airport? Well, as I'm walking to the concourse to the Delta Lounge, also kind of a home away from home for me, I was thinking about a newsletter I received from a pricing expert I follow. And in a recent issue, he's advocating to businesses to increase prices because they can. That inflation, and currently inflation being above 8% in the US, above 10% in Europe, inflation, he says, is giving businesses air cover to increase prices, to increase revenue, even if unit sales are falling. And I reluctantly have to agree with his logic, is that if everyone is expecting to pay more for goods and services, then you can charge more. And after all, isn't market value really just a reflection of what customers, both businesses and individuals, are willing to pay? Now, inflation is really having an impact across the general economy and across the tech industry. In fact, Channelnomics recently released a study with our friends at Axient that found that managed service providers are feeling the pinch of inflation, that they're seeing their costs increase, particularly in labor. So there's real pressures hitting businesses as a result of inflation, and it's going to get worse as the general economy, continues to deteriorate. In fact, the experts say that it is not just a likelihood of a recession, that we will have a recession sometime within the next year. I think we're already there, but I'm not the guy who makes that call. So there's going to be a lot of calls for businesses to increase prices. My advice or my caution to businesses is, particularly to tech businesses and the downstream partners, is to resist raising prices for the sake of raising prices. Yes, there are good reasons to raise price. There's good reason to charge more for your goods and services, and it's because you're facing higher costs of operations. You're facing higher labor costs. Your inputs, your raw materials, the licenses for the software they use, all these prices are increasing. Yes, those should be passed along to the end customers. That's a part of a normal business cycle. However, we shouldn't be raising prices just because we can, because it only exacerbates the inflation problem. It only causes inflation to remain stubbornly high. And if everyone starts raising prices because they can, it's only going to make the inflation and the economic situation worse. Well, that's about it for now, everyone. If you like what we're doing here on In the Margins, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, check out my other podcast, Changing Channels, where I interview thought leaders from around the technology industry, and check out the resources we have at Channelnomics. We have our Channel Recession Survival Guide for vendors. We also just released our guide with the Global Technology Distribution Council on how to leverage distributors to counteract the impact of economic downturns. Until next time, I'll see you then.